As school starts up in the Midwest, many students are returning to a new schedule. Since last year, Iowa has increased the number of districts on a 4-day week by 50%. About one-third of Missouri schools have done the same. District leaders say they see benefits like improved teacher recruitment and better student behavior. But some research warns that there could be academic losses over time. The Midwest Newsroom's Nicole Grundmeier reports.
It's back to school night at Martinsdale St. Mary's near Des Moines, Iowa, and young voices are booming through the building. This is the second year these students are going to school just 4 days a week.
Hi, Miss Sammy.
8th grader Tucker Dooley now spends his day off with his friends playing sports or riding bikes.
I like it because we have our Mondays off and it just feels like we get a whole different break. And the school days don't feel much longer at all.
Tucker's mom, Aria Biondi, has 3 children in the district.
I think it was a great change for us. I was able, Mondays they could study if they needed to, a little extra care at home if they needed to, more time with family, which was great.
There are several reasons why more Iowa school districts are switching to 4-day weeks. The most common is teacher recruitment and retention. Iowa districts are struggling to fill open positions. William Watson is the superintendent at Martinsdale St. Mary's. Before last year's switch, his district couldn't keep teachers.
And some of those had been retirements, some of them had been leaving the field, but the primary departure was due to leaving to go to another school district.
He needed a solution.
At one meeting, the concept of the 4-day school week came up, and I would tell you initially I thought it was crazy, and initially I was against it.
But after community meetings, the district made the switch. Now, all teaching jobs are filled and families are open enrolling into the district.
It changed our culture. People smile in our building. They like one another. They get along.
Districts that make the switch to a 4-day week save about 1 to 3% of their budget, mainly from busing, substitute teachers, and food services. But there can be trade-offs. Some national education experts say academic losses are possible. Research from the Kansas Department of Education shows that rural schools on 4-day weeks have lower ACT scores than those on traditional weeks. There are also concerns about childcare and students who live in low-income or abusive homes. Heather Pesky is the president of the National Council on Teacher Quality in Washington, D.C. Pesky says shorter weeks are tied to negative outcomes in student learning.
Students usually pay the price, and learning losses are more common than gains in student learning.
Some Midwest parents like Eric Santel want to keep the traditional 5-day school week. His 10-year-old son attends the Clearwater School District in southeast Missouri, which was considering a switch last year. Santel is an English professor at Southeast Missouri State University, and he found research about 4-day school weeks that worried him.
Our main concern was, are our kids going to learn what they should learn? Are they going to keep up with their peers at 5-day schools?
Other parents also pushed back, and the district is not making the shift. They're even asking for a bond referendum for a tax increase to pay their teachers more. But in Iowa, the 4-day school week continues to expand. This year, 27 school districts are operating on a 4-day week, and more school districts are considering the shift. That means more Iowa schools could abandon the traditional school week next year. I'm Nicole Grundmeier, the Midwest Newsroom.
The Midwest Newsroom is a collaboration including NPR and public radio stations in Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska. The Midwest Newsroom is a member of the Trust Project.